Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Peace and love, y'all. It's your girl, Melanie Charles, aka Jazz Girl.
And it's your girl, Yunie Mojica, aka Yunie Mo. And welcome back to
Make Jazz Trill Again Podcast. Okay, togetherness.
Yes.
So, Yunie, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling tired. It's been a long week. I think it's been a long week for everyone.
Oh, yes.
Anyone that is in jazz, anyone that is in the music space, the arts presenting space, just because of the time of year when it's APAP and Winter Jazz Fest and now Unity Fest and all those things, and everyone's in town and you got to see and make all the gigs and do all the things. So yeah, tired.
Yeah, we're very tired, but I think around this time every year it gets really tiring and overwhelming. Winter Jazz Fest is like 10,000 of your favorite musicians from all over the world at one time. Ready, set, go.
Go. Yes, and then anyone you know out of town is here too. Yeah. And everyone says, oh, let's meet.
Everyone wants to meet. And you're like, dude, I don't have the time. And then they're mad. And then you're like, just meet me at this set. And then you don't see them because it's packed.
Yeah.
Oy vey. But I must say, I had a really good time overall. I really didn't get to see too many acts. I saw Zacchaeus Paul. I saw Morgan playing with Zach. But I didn't get to see. That was really great. It was for the Candid showcase, which was really cool. Candid Records, they're like doing a whole renewal of their roster, and they got some really great artists. Morgan is signed to them. Milena Casado is signed to them, and the A&R is Terry Lynn Carrington. Yes, we love Terry Lynn.
I didn't know this. This is great.
Yeah, it's really
cool. Zach, he's getting out there more as a band leader.
Yes,
that's great. That's necessary.
Yeah, his voice is so amazing, and like every time he like opens his mouth, you could just feel the audience like be shocked, because you don't expect that from, it's just like what's about to happen. So that's cool. Shout out to Zach. He's also a newer member of the MJTA team. Yeah,
new team, new year,
new team. And he's been like getting our marketing and social media together. So if you guys have been following our Instagram, Make Jazz Trill Again Official. If you're not following it now, follow it now. And we be sharing mega stuff or whatever. We be talking about, cute little jazz facts. We be sharing all the dope music that's happening in our community, and not just all the like cool, popular kids, but the kids that you probably don't know, but that are doing really cool
The ones to watch.
The ones to watch. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Yunie, how was I know we don't want to talk too much about this past week because there's so much more to talk about, but how was your APAP Winter Jazz feel?
It was good. It was good. We started out with our little mixer for Summer Stage, and then I went to Jazz Lincoln Center's new Unity Fest, which is really cool. They opened up the entire hall. So I got to see a couple of groups perform. Scatter the Atoms.
I love Scatter the Atoms. I love Scatter the Atoms.
Mm-hmm. It was cool. Isaiah Collier was a guest. So was Billy Harper and trumpet player. I forget. So don't kill me. But another elder statesman.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. And Dia played with her band.
The cookout.
Yes. And there's this new vocalist, if you haven't heard of her, Kep Nkwele. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's often sings with India as well in her band, and she's making her moves as a new premier vocalist. So
nice.
That was nice to see.
Oh,
cool. Who else? Sondido Solar, which is the Curtis Brothers' new group. And
nice.
That was great. So Latin jazz vibes. They were in the Unity Fest. They kind of opened it up, and before that was Jazz Congress, and that was like a family reunion. Oh my god!
Right.
This whole week has been a family reunion.
It's like a massive family reunion.
Yeah, and then I did a panel discussion on jazz media, which was really great, and I represented Make Jazz Trill Again and Summer Stage.
Yes.
And yes, and Angelica Biener was there too. She was on the panel about her podcast, Milestones.
Fire.
Incredible. Fire. So we were holding it down for the ladies.
Yes.
And Giles Peterson was there as well. And
Nice.
then there were two other guys that I had met for the first time. And their names are Matt Flieger from radio station in Portland, KMHD, and Leo Sidron, who's another podcaster on the WBGO platform, The Third Story. So shout out to the podcasters.
Wow, that was really dank.
Yeah.
I hope that we can hear it. Like, we'd love to like put that out.
Yes, that's the goal. We'll see if all agree.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I have to say, shout out to Mark DeClivelo and Shigeto. We also played together at Winter Jazz Fest at Superior Ingredients. It was a packed room. I was very, very, very surprised. And
I'm not. You always bring people out. What,
girl? You know, I'm always like, is one person gonna come? At least if one person comes, that's okay for me. I'm always shocked when there's people. But yeah, like it was so crazy. We barely even got to talk through our set list. We just showed up and played, and it was fun because we've been doing that so much. We're like locked in, you know. It's like an unspoken communication that we have. So that was cool. Shout out to them. Yes. But moving on,
I do got to shout out Sonic Messengers too.
Yes, Public Records.
Shout out. We started our new residency, so keep an eye out on that for 2024.
Nice.
We were locked. You said locked in. We showed up. We had a great sound check, so we locked in from top to bottom, and it was amazing. Chanel Johns, Ace Mo, GBD.
Oh, the original gangsters. The super group. The 18.
The 18.
I love that. Yeah, we tried to pull up, and listen, when I tell you my feet was swollen, child, from being on my feet all day, we literally drove up to Public Records, and we all were like, we can't do it.
I'm tired.
Then I realized we should have called you out to like come say hi at least, but we were.
I wouldn't have been able to do that. I was in it.
You was blowing that horn. Zach found some videos online of you from that night, and I was like, damn, messed up. So anyway, we're gonna come to the next one.
You know, it's all good. You were just saying like, oh, people be mad that like the link doesn't happen. I don't think anyone's really mad because everybody knows that it takes a lot of effort.
Well, that's why I love you, Yunie.
To do all the things.
You're very patient and understanding in that way. Some people, they be getting offended. It's like, bruh, I'm busy, bruh. There's mad stuff going on. I'll see you next time. I still love you. You know?
Yes, just tell me when the next one is. That's why you just got to keep telling people, even if they don't come to the invitation.
2024, let's all give our friends space if they cannot come to the things and have faith that they love us and nothing has changed. Okay? That's our new goal for 2024, guys.
Amen. Yes. Period.
Talking about space, we got to keep no, it's not funny. Jonathan Major's meme that I sent you of him walking with Coretta Scott King.
Oh my God. The internet's be interneting. I mean, that's funny. Why was his hoodie tucked into his pants though?
I think he's trying to do his own thing. Like he's like, you know, I'm on this type of time. I'm not mad, Jonathan Majors. But, you know, I don't know if anyone's been following any of our listeners. I wonder, like, what kind of stuff you guys are listening to. Comment on our gram and let us know. Do you follow up on pop culture? Are you interested in pop culture commentary from us? But yeah, Jonathan Majors, wonderful actor that got into some trouble a few weeks ago. And I think when we were planning on talking about this, he had just gone through with his court case and he was found guilty for some things and not guilty of others. I don't really have all the details in front of me, but it's making me wonder, how do we feel about the personality versus the art? How important is people's transgressions, their flaws, how does that affect how we interact with the art that they do?
Yeah, I feel like it's case by case and person to person, because sometimes some situations can be triggering for somebody. They've gone through a similar experience, so they can't. If the thing, if the flaw directly has impacted their life circumstantially, then I can understand that person being like, I can't because I don't align with said flaw, you know. And for some people it might be different, so they're able to set aside certain things because they're so deeply connected to their art form and their output that it's something that they're willing to maybe it's forgive, or maybe to overlook, or maybe to understand that humans are flawed and we all fall short. So I think it's a sliding scale, and it's person to person and preference to preference. In this case in particular, it's like really sad and hard to see, because I hate when I see Black men fall. Like it's like it constantly happens. They constantly get attacked, and when it happens, it's just like, damn, another one, because we're not equal in society. We're like fighting 10 times harder. So when someone at the top just falls, it's just like, damn.
Well, it makes me think about that episode that we did with Raynell, and we're talking about like ethics of like an organization and stuff. Because when I was asking the question, I was also really thinking about like employees and like how he's like lost some employers and how he's lost so much work. And like, it's tough because I think that what we would like to think that these brands and companies and film houses, our ethics are why they are not giving or like fired him from his work. You know what I'm saying? We would like to think that it's because of ethics and not just because they just don't want to be involved with a flawed human being, you know?
Right. But then there's also like, if you're toxic and you mess up, then that person does need to be removed, you know, or then it's like, then the whole topic of cancellation comes into play and all of those things. And yeah, you're right. That the conversation we had with Raynell is like, does your output reflect who you say you are?
You know? I mean, we all have work to do and we all need to be better, but the truth is everyone's horrible. And before the internet, people were doing crazy things and we just didn't know, you know? So now that we know, it's like, but maybe it's a blessing.
Right. And then there's accountability too.
There's accountability now. There's more accountability. So I guess that's
the Libra in me is like,
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But we pray that Jonathan Majors gets the healing that he needs. Everyone involved gets the healing that they need, and that he can come back and do what he does best. So
that's my hope.
Yeah.
That was upsetting.
That was upsetting. Well, we just came off of the legs of some really fun stuff in basketball. Are we ready for Yunie's Sports Minute?
Quick minute, because I'm not an expert. I'm a fan, and I'm also a newbie too at the same time. So, but yes, I do follow the NBA, and I love basketball, and I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm also rocking. Y'all can't see me, but I'm wearing my WNBA hoodie. So
I love it.
And okay, so basketball season started in October, as it usually does, and the NBA brought in a new ploy. I hate to use the word ploy, but I'm using the word ploy. In-season tournament, which was a tournament that they placed in the beginning of the season to engage players and fans collectively. Fans got to see the players like work a little bit harder, play a little bit harder, play with more passion, and the players were fighting for the title of the tournament, and also there's money. There was money prize attached to it. So if you won the tournament, you got a check.
We love a money prize.
Yeah, so there's incentive, because a lot of times in the beginning of the season, you might see the star players like sitting out more, like there isn't as much like passion behind and fire. behind trying to win. You usually see the better half of basketball after the All-Star break, which is coming up soon.
Okay.
So after All-Star break, then that's when people start getting down and dirty. And a lot of times at the beginning of the season, they might not do that because they want to not get injured right away, and they want to save their star players a little bit more, but they also are like trying to build their stats. So I think we might see at the end of the season player stats being higher than usual in terms of shooting and rebounding and things like that, because they went harder in the beginning. And yeah, I think it was successful, and I'm excited to see like the end result at the end of the season. And then trading has been happening. I'm a Knicks fan. 2 players on the Knicks got traded: RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly. Which RJ Barrett started out as Knick as a rookie. He was like a pride. He was part of the family, so a lot of people were really sad to see him go. And Emmanuel Quickly has just been such a great guard, and so seeing them depart was really hard for a lot of Knicks fans.
Who are they going to play with now?
Now they're on the Raptors, which is RJ Barrett's from Canada, so hometown for him.
Okay,
but it was a very quick healing process, because as soon as we ended up getting OG Anunoby, hope I'm saying his last name right, and as soon as he got on the team, they had a winning streak of like 4 or 5 games. And they look totally different. Everybody's playing even better now.
Wow.
So we have Knicks fans happy.
Okay, hello. Sometimes new energy is really important. Especially even in music too. Yunie, I love comparing basketball to jazz. That's like my thing.
Yeah.
And I see so many parallels. And sometimes we get used to a certain combination of musicians or a certain combination of players, but sometimes just one little fresh piece of energy can really change up the whole vibe. So shout out to
band. Yeah, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, like in rehearsals or in this case, practice or locker room energy or whatever. That a couple pieces move around, and then all of a sudden the band is on fire.
Yep. I love that.
Yes.
Well, does that conclude Yunie's Trill Sports Minute?
Trill Sports Minute. Well, I wonder if that wasn't a minute.
I think that was a minute. So we need like next. I'm gonna be playing around with Riverside, which is a podcast recording software for our next episode, by the way. Yes. And apparently you can trigger like sounds within the episode. So next time when we do Yunie Minute, it'll be like dun, 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 dun. Okay. What else is? Oh, we wanted to shout out Tyreek McDowell for winning the Sarah Vaughan Sassy Awards. Yes, for 2023. The last winner was Samara Joy. Shout out to Samara Joy. So, Tyreek is definitely in really good company, and he's doing some really great things. He's running a jam session now at, what is it, Dizzy's?
Yeah, at Dizzy's Club. And from the last one I was working there, late night was on Thursdays. Late night jam session was on Thursdays. So
was it Thursdays?
Yeah, it was. So I don't know what it is now. I'm sure you can go to their website, jazz.org, to find out when late night sessions are, and the jam session in particular, because it's always just one night, and then whatever the band is there for like either the week or a couple of days.
Right.
So I'm assuming it's one night. Right.
I'm gonna try to make it out. Also, okay, here it is. I was trying to put up. Yep, it's Thursday. You're right. Come on, memory. Yes. Yes. So make sure you guys catch Tyreek at Dizzy's on Thursdays starting at midnight. Right?
For all the late night folks. But that's the musician's hour.
Oh yeah. So after your gigs, I mean, we all need a late night hang. There's another jam happening, Trill Mega Jam, coming up at the end of the month, the last Saturday of the month, January 27th. It's going to be great. Those of you who came to catch us at Break Jazz Fest, you already know the vibes. It was packed, great energy, amazing musicians. The thing about the Trill Mega Jam is anything goes, okay? If you want to tip, if you want to play a ballad, if you want to loop, if you want to sample, if you want to play with the DJ, it's okay. This is where all ideas come to live and thrive. So make sure you guys save the date. It's going to be at Williamsburg Music Center, Saturday, January 27th.
Creation, connection, and elevation. That's all we want at the next jam.
Yes, that's all we want. Yunie, what have you been listening to? I'm so curious what you've been listening to. What's been on your Spotify?
What's my Trill tracks?
What's your Trill tracks?
Well, I've been like preparing for a gig that I have coming up in February.
Okay.
Plug.
Nice.
February 28th on a Wednesday at 333 Lounge, which our brother Jonathan Michelle has been curating on Flatbush in Brooklyn.
I went
right near
last week. It was amazing. It felt like old Brooklyn, like good energy, freshness, excitement. A lot of musicians and a lot of non-musicians. I love that when like normal people come.
Yes, me too, because I don't like playing in a group of music. I don't want to play for a room full of musicians.
It feels like a recital, and I don't want to do a recital.
I'm feeling judged. Like you're not listening to my message. You're listening to every single note dissecting. At least that's what's going on in my mind, That's the narrative in my head, at least.
Well, I want to talk more about jam session culture a little bit, but I want you to talk more about what's been on your Spotify.
Oh, yes. You're
preparing for your gig in February and
trying to get inspo, so I'm pulling from all types of things.
Mm-hmm.
But my Trill track is the song's called Solid Plan.
Okay.
Solid Plan by the rapper hip hop artist Larry June, and Action Bronson is on the track, and it is produced by the Alchemist.
Oh, dope!
And it's dope. It's got like a nice it's got the jazz in the background for sure. But I'd say the jazz sound would be like 70s psychedelic acid jazz.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
I might pull that up on my. Let me save that.
Yeah, that track but that overall album. So that's what. And then I've been listening to some Sade lately.
Nice.
Yeah, and we all know her classics and everything, but she has so many other songs that are beautifully shaped and like not your typical song form.
Yeah,
that I'm realizing.
Yes,
when I listen to her, but and the way her voice isn't like in your face either. So
yeah,
and I've been really trying to learn a lot from her. And then the internet. That's what I've been listening to.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay.
Yes,
girl. Boom, 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 boom. That bass line, so good.
Yes. And the internet.
Yeah, they're great.
They're in your ears, and you don't even realize. Like,
yeah,
members of that band had a lot to do with Beyonce's Renaissance album. So just leave that right there.
Okay, BTW. Well, that's so funny. I've been listening to a lot of Sade too. That's crazy. I don't know, maybe because it's cold outside and you want to get warm and cozy with Sade. And
yes,
it's interesting you talk about arrangement, because I too was noticed more about the arrangements this lately than I have in the past. It's really cool how music hits us at different moments in our lives, as we get older, as we're in love, when we're out of love, just different things make sense. And I was thinking, wow, which one is it? Surely you want me back. Which one's that?
Oh, I don't know that one. Wait,
yeah,
sing more lyrics.
That's the bridge. That's also good. That's how you know I'm a nerd. I don't remember the first verse. I remember the bridge. What is it? A crime? Is it
Yes.
I was like, yo, this is a tune. Like,
Listen.
it's like a standard. And then like there's a section like where they go into the swing. And I was thinking, there's no kick drum. That's why like the swing in this context isn't annoying or corny. Cause you know,
It's
when
subtle.
it's subtle. Cause when you go suddenly to like a swing, sometimes it's like, okay, bro, like,
It's like too much like pow.
Right.
Sometimes I want that sometimes, but
you know,
sometimes.
but they just had the upper elements of the swing feeling. And then it was just like, okay, so you still had the bounce of like the rest of the track under there. So yeah, I'm producing my album right now. I'm trying to, get it done. So I too am in a place of seeking inspiration. But normally I don't like to listen to other things while I'm working on an album because I don't want any like influences and I want to make sure that I really have my own voice. But I feel like at this point I do have my own voice and now I'm interested in expanding and like developing even more language by what my peers and other people are saying. So it's an interesting place to be in. I've also been listening to Omar. Are you hip to Omar Laifouk?
Oh no.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite musicians of all time. There's an interview of Stevie Wonder saying that when he gets older, he wants to be like Omar Laifouk. Omar was like really big in like the late 90s, early 2000s, but like has always been big in like the dance house world. Oh my God. I saw him live last year.
For not knowing who that is.
It's okay. There's so much happening. He's a UK guy. So, UK people, you sometimes you don't catch it. We don't catch that sometimes. But yeah, been listening to some Omar. I recommend you guys listen to him. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I've been listening to Pink Panthers on repeat.
Oh wait, what's her song
The boy's a liar. The boy's a liar. He doesn't see ya.
I love that song. That melody right there is why I like that song.
It's a gorgeous melody.
It is. And I didn't know what she was saying. I said the whole time I would be like, "There's a Liam."
I thought she was saying, I didn't know what she was saying either. And then I was like, one day I was like, let me Google it. And now I'm obsessed and I'm learning what's her name's rap. Like I almost got the rap down perfect. Ice Spice. I'm like, yo, I need to write a song like this. Good enough.
That's some New York stuff.
For real. Very New York. I love it.
Yeah, I do like that too.
Yeah. Well, also what came out at the end of last year was Andre 3000's album. Mm-hmm. Are we still talking about that or are the streets over it? Like where I feel like the first week it came out, everybody was like, oh my God. And now people are like,
yes.
He should have rapped.
All the hip hop heads were like, either they were like, what is this? Or I heard a couple different opinions. Like I heard a Jada Kiss comment on it. And that was really interesting how he understands that, sometimes the shit gets old.
Yeah.
And he's just seeking inspiration and just going with where he was. And that he at his age, he felt like he didn't have anything to say or get off his chest. But Jadakiss was like, it's the same age. And he was like, I still got a lot to say and I still got a lot to get off my chest. So there's that. And some people respect it as an artist because at the end of the day, he, as a rapper, he satisfied all of our, our stomachs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's some people that feel like that, like who cares? He's an artist; he can do whatever he wants.
Absolutely,
like, he doesn't owe anything to anybody.
He doesn't.
And then there's the some purists like we have hip hop police as we have jazz police. So
yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So some people wasn't rocking with it, But then the musicians, people like us, like personally, I rock with it. I love that he's straddled different genres and picked up an instrument as well. Like that's dope.
Yeah, I think
what are your takes?
I think it's really cool. I think that the seriousness of jazz, like the birth of jazz school has really killed a lot of our spirits, our hearts, the way we interact with Black American music.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me really sad, you know? I have a lot of musician friends that were like, people have been recording avant-garde flute and free flute albums just because it's Andre 3000. Now everybody wanna, like people have come there, or he don't really play flute. He don't even know what he's doing. He shouldn't be like, and it's like, wow, like this is art. Like, who are we?
And they're saying like, oh, just because he's Andre 3000, he's gonna get all the listens
he's gonna
and steal away from other people, which is like, to me, that's absolutely ridiculous. He's a whole person. He could do whatever he wants, just like you could do whatever you want.
I mean, he's an artist, and that's the thing. It's like, when did we ruin art so bad that people feel like they have even the authority to articulate when someone should make art, or who's qualified to make art? It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Crazy.
And like,
it's crazy.
Only in jazz do people do that. And like visual art or whatever, like you just do your shit. You do your thing and like whatever. I think jazz is the only one where people feel like you have to have like some kind of like
credentials. Give me a break. That's the stuff that's the stuff that bothers us.
Yeah.
And he has been on this journey for a while, actually. So it didn't really surprise me that he took this pivot, because but even way before the pandemic, a couple of years ago, he was in Michiko's practicing with a bass clarinet.
Man, people.
So like, what are you like? He's
been practicing all over the place in all kinds of parks, trying to get inspiration. People have spotted him many times. There are receipts that the man have been working on the flute. Secondly, the man is a multi-instrument. He explores instruments. Like, I remember hearing mad random albums and realizing that's him on guitar, or that's him on this thing. Like, that's his thing. He likes to explore, and
he did my favorite things on Love Below. So
right,
he's been on this jazz tip for a long time.
He's been exploring, and it's inspiring me to like go back to that place. I feel like I've lost that exploring. I remember like when I didn't know a piece of gear, like when I didn't understand the SPs as much, is when I made my favorite project, The Girl with the Green Shoes. Why? Because I wasn't going into it like, yes, I know this, I'm gonna make it do this, I'm gonna make it do that. I was exploring and traveling with the piece. So shout out to Andre 3000 for yet again inspiring many of us.
Amen.
Color Purple.
Did you see it yet?
I saw it last night.
Yes! I've heard several takes. Some people was not fucking with it.
It's so good. I
loved it.
Loved it.
I was crying like a baby.
I was crying. I cried on I'm Here, because like that song is just like the most beautiful song. The last one that Fantasia does.
Fantasia. Yes. I mean, from there onward, it was just like, by the time we got to the last scene, I was like, can y'all stop? Because I don't want to cry anymore.
I was waiting for her African son to say mama, but he didn't say it. The girl said it though. So that was cool. Like, shout out to those of us who like were waiting for all the things from the first Color Purple, because I definitely was brushed up.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like, yeah,
and we're like, there it is. Or when Silly was like, before you do right by me, everything you touch, like she did the finger curl, and I was like, yo, fantastic.
Yes. Oh, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. And I'm glad I didn't know it was a musical until like, I think a little bit prior to I went. So I was like, oh, it's the musical. It's not a remake. And that piece you have to understand before you even get there. Because if you don't expect that, you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? And you're going to watch it with judging eyes. Instead, like, know that it's a musical, and the music is incredible.
The music is incredible. I like the producer in me was like, okay, wow, they recorded this really well. Like the music production is great. The arranging, I feel like they really honored the original arrangements while updating them in a really tasty way.
Did you see it? Because you saw it on Broadway? Did you see it on Broadway?
Did I ever see? I never saw it on Broadway. I don't know. Well, I think I'd listened to the album many times. I've like sung a couple of songs from the musical to audition back when I was doing musical theater stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
girl. Yeah. So I have a very close relationship with the music of it, you know?
Yes.
So yeah.
Who did you go see it with?
I went with Zach.
Zach?
Yeah.
I went with Raynell.
Oh, Raynell! How did she feel? She loved it?
She loved it. I looked at her, we were both crying like... Girl,
it was really a tearjerker. But you know me, you know the messy in me, the researcher in me was like, let me understand why things are the way they are. First of all, the Color Purple is not showing in all theaters. I don't know if you noticed that.
No,
it's not. It was very difficult to find theaters that were showing it. So then I'm like, okay, let me find out why. Because I know certain films, depending on like their budget, like they can't afford to get it everywhere. Did you know that a movie theater and a film and like the film house have to have a door split?
Well, that makes sense.
Bruh, I did not know that, bruh.
Yeah, because that's how they make their money off of, because it's ticket sales. Yeah. That's why like, oh, this broke box office and this movie made said $1 million.
Right. It never occurred to me that okay, it seems so like
I know
like music, it's like a gig. I'm like, oh, so it's a gig for y'all, like me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like there's also door deals with like MSG. Right. You get a flat rate and then you get
right,
whatever.
So that was interesting.
But that's so funny.
That is funny. You know what I mean? I was like, what? 50-50? Not 80. No, but so that was interesting. And apparently they were saying that like The Color Purple is viewed as a limited basically it's a Black movie that's drawing Black audiences, and that, you know, the numbers are already not expected to do that well because it's sort of like niched in a way that I didn't realize. I mean, that's kind of true. And I didn't think of that in relation to how the movie would do. A lot of people are saying that Taraje really kind of ruined the promo of it by complaining or by expressing the realities behind the pay gap for Black women in film and TV and entertainment.
I would think that it would at least get our people out to come to go and check it out even more.
Well, that's what I think. That's also, so all the stuff that I'm talking about is all in this New York Times article that came out. And they predicted that after all of this press, however, that finally the numbers will go up, because in the first week, I think it cost them $55 million to make the movie. And in the first week, they only made $7 million. So I was like, wow. Okay, so they barely broke even, but they're expected to catch up soon. But I say that all this to say that yesterday it was packed with Black people. Yes. It was like not that many seats available. So I was like, aha, it's true what they say. There's no such thing as bad press. And if you're listening to this, go watch The Color Purple.
Watch The Color Purple.
And see if Taraje was right, and see if you can understand even more what Taraje was talking about.
Yeah, that was such an interesting point. I had seen the movie before that had bubbled up, you know. Oh. And it was interesting to see the reactions from like Vivica Fox responded quickly, like on the street with like paparazzi coming at her. Do we still call it paparazzi? I don't know. And then Oprah had a response too. Well, Vivica Fox's response was like, "Well, I'm good. To each his own." Da 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 da, which was like kind of unfortunate in my mind. Like let's come together and support. Be like, or like, you know, I guess that's her truth though. So I don't know. And then Oprah disagreed, and she's
Oprah said, why am I like this? She said, why is my name in this conversation?
Yeah, because she was like, oh, Warner Brothers manages the budget, and you and your team are responsible for negotiating your fee. And she was like, I did whatever I can. Like when things came to me, I did what I could to change things around and make sure everyone was happy and everyone was good and everything like that. So
I don't like her answer. I thought it was very, I thought she was gaslighting. I don't like that. Because Oprah, you have all the power, ma'am. You are the first name listed as a producer, which means that you probably have the most power of production. You were involved in the original. It's like your name is all over the thing. You all up in the music videos like Diddy. You all in the promo run. Okay, girl, you have so much power to say, why am I?
And the thing is, if that was her truth, she should be saying that. She should be having a conversation with Taraje, not in public, because that looks bad. It looks like we're not united. Exactly. It's just not that was just not it. Like while what she said could very much be true, because I'm on both sides of things many times, and and while this, what I'm about to say might not be the best thing to say, but you do have to negotiate your like with your team, and you do have to make sure, like when you say yes, that you are good, so that when you do start things, you're in a good space.
Well, I mean, I don't doubt that. I think that wasn't a necessary thing to say, because I'm sure Taraji's team negotiated, and I'm sure that they got the max, that like they pushed and they landed on a number. She probably wasn't happy with the number, but she was like, I want to do Color Purple, you know? And that happened so many times. It's like a really beautiful opportunity. And oftentimes that's why they pay you so low, because they know everybody wants to play that role. So it's like, look, this is what we got. Either you want to do it or not, you know? And she was like, okay, I want to do it, but I'm not going to stay quiet about it. Anjanou Ellis did the same thing.
And I'm glad she did say something, because that's how things change.
That's how things change.
Because there is the reality, of budget for like where things are. Like if the money just isn't there to support the film, like it can't get done.
Right.
You know, so
I think it's important to do it's important to do research and know like when there's money in a project and when there's not. You know, sometimes like you call people for a gig and you're like, bruh, there is no money. This is what I have to offer. Like I feel like a smart person will do their research or just try to understand if truly this is a thing with no money, and then not harp on, well, I need this, because, bruh, the money ain't there. Now it's more like, where is your heart? Are you interested in being a part of this project? Is this something that you want to invest your time and your energy in? Everything ain't about money. And I'm not applying this to the Color Purple thing. You know what I mean?
Because
everything's going back to the music. That they had it. Exactly. I'm talking about like gigs, like musicians, and like also knowing when there is money somewhere. Like if someone calls you for a gig, they might have a crazy budget. They might be connected to something, and because you didn't even look, you didn't even think to Google who it is or see what's going on or even ask the right questions, you end up lowballing yourself, and then you on the gig mad because you found out that the person next to you got paid 2 times more than you got paid.
Exactly.
So it's important to know.
And that's if anyone wants to help make that change, and you're not a musician, you're not an actor, you're not you're not a producer, and you don't have a say, you have to show up. You have, because that at the end of the day, like you have to show up to your favorite artist's gigs, because the venue is looking at how many people are showing up to this. Is this successful? And then I'm going to pay you more. Like that's where the power is. Like the audience has so much power, and I don't think people realize you have to show up to the movie. You have to show up to the performance. You have to show up for the album. You have to buy the album. You have to do all of those things if you want to see that artist get paid what they deserve.
Another thing though that comes to mind about when it comes to where does this money come from is that as a society, we've lost the importance of arts and culture to our communities and our livelihood and our health and well-being. Like back in the day, Mozart, I keep talking about this now because I've been really researching the history of patronage, the history of like institutions, the history of churches, and how they were the ones that were putting the money up for art and music to be available to the people. You know, now that ain't the case. That's not really a thing anymore. And now we're looking at venues at like the audience to like put this art up, and really the responsibility are these spaces. And I feel like I always critique the institution, like F the institution, the jazz institution, the jazz school institution. But actually the problem isn't the institution. The problem is the people that are running the institutions.
It's interesting because a lot of something that's been on my mind for a little while is a lot of, like, you talk about the institution, the people running the institution in terms of like the people that are getting the work done. There's that, but that's when you have to look at who's on the board,
right,
and who are the funders. And I've been trying to figure out a way, like, how do we change this? Like,
yes,
where it's like, where's the money coming from? Because a lot of times you might not agree with said programming, and you'll ask, like, why is this on the season, or whatever, or on the bill? And not all the time, but sometimes it's because a board member or donor needs to be pleased. So
yes.
if that's that's a piece of the pie, because the audience, they're also thinking about the audience. But that one piece that we're looking at, that means where the money is coming from has to be a Black person. That's how it changes. And as Black wealth grows, that the people that have Black wealth need to be in those positions.
Yeah.
And I don't see them. And if they're there, you don't see them often. So, because it's like, oh, we have to do this because we have to make sure the board is happy, or make sure the donor is happy, or make sure the grant, like, it follows grant guidelines. So, like, that is where it actually really needs to change in terms of the arts in particular, and nonprofits.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think that Black money needs to be in the game, but I don't think that it should have to be Black money for those things to change. Because
someone who has the mindset,
someone who has the mindset, and even like maybe because, okay, I'm on Meredith Monk's board, right? She's like a very important avant-garde musician, created her own musical language, was awarded like Nobel Peace Prize. She was awarded the Obama President Award. She's incredible. She's getting old, and like we're basically just sustaining, like creating an infrastructure to support her for her the many years that she has left on this earth, as well as preserving her legacy. And yes, there are people. I'm not one of the people on the board that got money. Okay, I'm on the board because of my ideas,
decisions. Yes.
So that's the thing. That's another thing. Like, okay, maybe there isn't Black money, but there are Black voices on the board, and that really matters. And then also, like, whoever is running the board may also not be a money person, but they're going back to what Yunie was talking about, their ethics and their job, I imagine, is to create an environment where the decisions that are made and where the money is going is ethical, is progressive, is diverse, is current, is present, is listening to what the people are needing.
But and it sticks to the mission.
And it sticks to the mission. But a lot of these people ain't got no mission. They just want to make money. That's their mission.
Well, if you're on a board, you're supposed to be part of the mission of said institution. But I think that I'm really, I guess, hyper focused on the money piece, though, because, and I think of like, Dr. Umar, the controversial Dr. Umar, where like when there's a lot of white money attached to it, like it has a bigger impact than you think. If there is more Black money there, it's going to help.
But like, how much Black wealth I don't know too many people with black.
No, I don't, and I don't either. That's why I said I don't know.
Are we chasing? What are we seeking if that's not really a thing? Like, unfortunately,
there is though. We're not in those circles. We are not in those circles. We never have been. and they exist.
Where they at? So we need to find
I
them people.
slowly talk to people that are, now that my environment is starting to change. They exist. We just, jazz is not in that. And it hasn't been, and that's the point that I'm trying to make.
I don't know. Jazz is not in there. Jazz is in that, but it's only for.
It was, but it's mostly white money.
But it's like it's a 1% that jazz is still in that. Like that, they're actually operating in a whole different like price bracket than the average jazz musician. I think it's just like the gate, like Cat Williams have been talking about, like the gatekeeping has gotten a little bit more tight. But like when you think about like Gregory Porter or like Bublé, or I mean, given that Bublé is a white musician, but like there are a certain number of people that are making that they dealing with.
Yeah, I know, but it's so small.
It's so small,
and that I'm pushing this narrative because it's too small.
Yunie said we need to get our money up. Yunie said, "Black folk, let's get our money up." Period.
Get your money up.
Yes. I'm waiting for mine in the mail. What are you reading, Yunie? You want to share with our listeners?
Yes, I'm reading a book called "I Will Teach You to Be Rich," and you may laugh when you hear that, be like, "Haha, this is BS." Da, da, da. But no, it actually like helps you to. It gives you a starting point when it comes to personal finances, where meets you with where you're at, what you've learned from generations through your family, and correcting that, and just using the system so that you can build your own wealth and your own version of your own rich life, and what that means, because everyone's rich life looks different, and making it attainable, and giving you steps, just basic things to start out, so that you have he focuses on foundation in the beginning of it. I'm not done with it yet, but actionable steps, like separates scam from like reality and all of that. It's by Rimit Sethi. Rimit Sethi.
Okay.
I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I'll put a link in the description.
Okay.
No guilt, no excuses, no BS, just a 6-week program that works. And there's a lot of testimonies in here too. So
mine is in the mail. I'm very excited to get my copy. And, I just had an idea while you were talking about that, how it'd be cool to do like a musician's book club, like a Trill book club. And we can all collectively educate ourselves about getting our bread up, because, we're focusing on shedding on the instrument. We're focusing on like writing our music. Mm-hmm. The last piece we're thinking about is like making smart money moves.
Yeah.
So let's all support each other.
Important. You have to. It's like, it's things that aren't taught in schools, but the information is there, but it's like, what is the right information?
So we're going to start a list of books that we're reading. Everyone, what's the name of the book again, Yunie?
I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It is available on Amazon for like audiobook or whatever. You can get it in any form. Yeah. And let's read up. I have mine coming in a few days, and next episode maybe we can like talk through a piece of it, like do an excerpt episode. Yeah, that could be fun.
Maybe one day we can have him on our podcast.
That would be
he has a Netflix special too, or a show.
Okay. Fire.
And remember what the show is called, but he basically gets a lot. The show is a premise where he actually puts these concepts into reality, and he works with people. And
I think I've seen that. It's like one season. Is it like 7 episodes and like different people each episode that he's like helping them whatever financial thing? Mm-hmm.
Yes,
he is really good, and I remember feeling like I took away some things already from that. Mm-hmm. Okay, word up.
You can apply all of those. This is like a little financial Bible for you.
Yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on that. Well, I think that comes time for us to conclude our first episode for our second season of the Jazz Trill Again podcast. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. It's been about a year now? 2 years now? I feel like time has passed.
It's been 2 years now, and I ran into one of our listeners from Portland at the panel, and people like us, I guess. We just have to be a little more consistent. And
we're working on being more consistent for you guys, and we thank you for your patience. We thank you for checking it out. And let us know what you want from us. Like, let us know if there's certain things that you would like us to lean into. Yunie and I think that we should do more episodes like this where we're just chatting with each other and shooting the breeze. Let us know how you feel about that. But of course, we're going to have some of our favorite people joining us this season. We're cooking up a special episode with Corinne Bailey Ray. Stay tuned for that. We have some back episodes that we've been sitting on. We had a great episode with Jay Hoare that we're going to put out soon. One with our favorite tap percussionist, Michaela. Shout out to Michaela. Hoofer, right? Hoofer. So that we have that coming down the pipeline, and just lots more exciting stuff. So please continue to follow us on the Instagram. Make sure you check us out on Spotify, iTunes. It's available everywhere. Make sure you check out Yunie in February at 333 Lounge. Make sure you check us all out at the Trill Mega Jam, January 27th. And just make sure, you continue to be good people filled with compassion and patience and kindness and love, and get your bread up. Okay. We're trying to make that jazz money. You already know. Yes.
Period.
So are we going to do our outro, Yunie?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Because, remember, whatever you do,
remember to make jazz trill again. Yes.